In a vast landscape full of adventurers, you are now listening to the world of chaotic amateurs.
Welcome to Chaotic Amateurs, the internet's #1 D&D 5e play podcast. I'm your host and DM, Alex, and to my right I have...
Dash as Thrakus.
Bentley Michaels as Referia Night Meadow.
Rhett as Strummer.
Gil the Scory.
And Milo is Ball.
And last we left our adventurers, they had just finished winning the tournament at the Court Coliseum, coming back to their home, the Chateau de Magnus, with an unconscious, soulless Zephyrus in the top floor. And at the end of the night, they find themselves face to face with Strix, their kobold friend, who has taken on a slightly different demeanor and voice. Let the adventure begin. All right. So last we left off, I think it was Scory and Ball, or just Scory, that had went to check on either the dagger or the vault and found Strix there. Strix's eyes a different shade than usual, and his voice a bit different, talking as if he was some other entity. You've kind of gathered everyone up in the main hall with Strix there in the middle. I would say Willem and Chimala are upstairs somewhere. You weren't able to grab them, but you have Strix in front of you, and they kind of look at each of you and say, "The dagger in the vault. You need to bring that to me. We're taking too much time not giving me the dagger." What do you guys do?
Yeah. There you go, Bentley. Let's kill him. Let's just murder him. Kill Sierra.
I might be wrong about this one, but it doesn't sound like his regular voice.
I forgot that was your voice.
Wait, mate. I vote that we don't. We don't take it to him. No. Oh God, I should have warmed up.
Yeah. I believe that Strix has been possessed by something. Do we have magical means to ascertain what is possibly taking his body over? Is there a wizard nearby? Is anyone a wizard?
We can get Chimawa or Chimali?
Chumbawamba, yes.
Or I could maybe try detect magic on him?
Possibly.
I feel like Chimoli might have a little more knowledge in these kinds of things than I do, though. He might be a good person to get.
Yeah, I don't think that you need special knowledge to know that he's not himself. I've only met him a couple of times, but...
Yes, that's true. I figured it out just by looking at him, so...
It would be nice to know, if there's a specific kind of magic controlling him, or if there's a sense that we can get where it's coming from. I mean, obviously it's coming from the basement because he wants the dagger, but...
He kind of pipes up when you say that. It's like, yes, the basement. Bring the dagger to the basement. I don't need it if you bring it down there.
Wait, who has the dagger, by the way?
It's in the vault.
It's a good question. Who does have the dagger? It's in the vault. Good.
Strix, which one of our tenants down in the basement are you wanting to take this to?
Strix. That's this one. I wish to have the dagger. I am downstairs. Bring the dagger to me and I will leave.
What do you look like?
I look terrible, and that is why I need this dagger, so that I can release myself and
All right.
How about
he
this?
kind of like, you see there's a struggle, either Strix trying to take control back or something happening, but this inhabited spirit inside of Strix keeps inhabiting.
I
keep
will
some
cut
hold over
you.
him.
I will cut you a deal, entity. You tell us who you are, and we will bring the dagger to our friend Strix. And I'd like to deceive.
Okay, give me a deception check.
Can I give him guidance?
No, guidance is a tough one to give when you're trying to deceive.
It's like an individual. You can't really help me. 11.
11. Yeah, this entity Strix says, my name, and you'll give me the dagger.
Yes, of course. I am a man of my word.
He looks very frustrated and kind of just looks at you and says,
You have no other options.
you cannot pronounce my name. And he utters some just like reverse sounds is what it sounds like. Just something coming like backwards through time.
And I'd like to freak him out by just mimicking that sound back. Can I do that?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you can mimic, huh?
I'm like,
You
"Hi,
mimic that
mate.
sound.
Oh, right. It's a rather great name. Pleasure to meet you." And then, oh, right, mate.
Why? That's the deal. The dagger now. The dagger now.
Well, like he said he'd bring it to you and all that, and I'm sure that like maybe he will do that like sometime in the future. I'm interested in like another deal too. You know, like what else do you give us?
Deals.
I know it's like right confusing up here, right? Like lots of deals to be made.
Can I go down to the vault and just get a dagger, just like a nondescript dagger? See if I can fool him into.
Yeah. I think there's probably a dagger in there, and you would know that there's definitely a dagger in like the armory, so you can go down the hallway, find a regular dagger.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I will bring that 1 second. Let me go retrieve it. Shuffle off down a hallway.
Like a weight kind of comes off his shoulders and looks at you, Strummer, and says, "Separate deal? You want more? I can bring you more once I am out of this prison."
Right. Like, so you don't got like a pile of treasure, something that we can go and like check on before, or?
I know where treasure is.
All right, let's go ahead and start there. I've got a pad and paper. You just go ahead and start spouting out where there's treasure at, and we'll see where that gets us.
All right. You start hearing Strix and the entity start spouting off locations. Like giving you a landmark and then telling you it's going to be, like 4 miles west and a mile north. Find the gnarled tree and utter an elven phrase. Like just start spouting them off like they're right on hand, and they sound believable. Like,
okay.
Like it seems like these are treasure locations. I would say he spouts off about a dozen of them.
Being familiar with the territory and being a ranger with exceptional knowledge of geography, do any of the landmarks stick out to me?
Give me just a wisdom check.
Okay. That is a 15.
15. They all sound just really close to being something you've heard of. Like it talks about the sun willow forest, but it's actually the moon willow forest that you know it as. It has nothing to do with the sun. It's something that's just a slightly off about, it seems like most of these, based on your kind of knowledge of the surrounding areas.
I want to pull down my mask and see if I see any sort of necrotic energy around Strix or like coming from the vault.
Bro,
Mm-hmm.
you don't pull that mask down during COVID.
Taking a look at Strix.
Just below my nose, and now I pull it all the way up.
No necromancy from Strix that you can tell. Looking in the vault, I mean nothing out of the ordinary. other than things that you might have had in there already. I know there's that blood bowl, that blood file, and that has necromancy magic to it, but nothing kind of pops up at you as out of the ordinary.
So, like, while we're waiting for Mr. Wolf to come back with the dagger and all that, like, why don't you tell us what you're going to do, like, once we give you the dagger?
I'm going to be freed from this prison, and then I can finally... And it just seems kind of lost in thought, like that's a goal it's had for a long time. And it can't quite figure out what it's going to do.
How long have you been locked up for?
It's been a long time. I tend to sleep when no one's nearby. So... years, decades, centuries, I do not know.
How old are you?
That would entail me knowing how long I've been here. I was once a young man. Then the change happened. And he's getting aggravated again.
What kind of change?
And this kind of aggravation, you see it kind of struggling a bit. And some new entity takes over. Not the one you've been talking to. Not Strix. The eyes are still different, and it just kind of stops and looks at each of you up and down. And I would say, Wolf, this is kind of when you come in with the dagger that you had found.
Got it!
And just eyes go directly towards you, and it starts like running to you to grab the dagger.
Here's the dagger. It changed form. It looks different now. A little more nondescript.
Do you give it to Strix?
Sure.
Oh God!
Because it just kind of jumps up and grabs it and like clutches it in like a hunched over back with its back to everyone and looks it over and you can just see it kind of fuming mad, and it just throws it. Not at anyone in particular, but I would say Strummer, it just narrowly misses you. And it just gets stuck in the wall behind.
Oi, mate. Thought we'd be becoming friends.
That's not what we need.
To be fair,
all right.
I honored our deal. You told us who you were, and I went and got a dagger.
You know the dagger we require.
Well,
all right.
You weren't specific.
Let's go ahead and like pump the brakes a second. You go ahead and tell us like what's so important about this dagger.
Yeah, maybe start with the name of it.
All right. Yeah, that's a great idea. Like, tell us about all of its stats.
Names are useless. It has no name. It doesn't require one.
Right.
It cuts the tether. It frees the prison. And you see it just kind of crunching their eyes, just getting frustrated, and it's kind of pacing back and forth now.
Oi, mate. You forgot we hold all the cards, mate. Should have thought about that before you go spouting off, you know?
Yeah. What are you going to give us for this dagger?
I will give you whatever you need. What do you need? You. And it starts looking at you. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Everybody?
No, just Wolf.
Okay, good.
15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like the way you said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that I have that that Iron Will feature as well, so I can add a d6 to his saving throw as a reaction.
I think it's a little. Is it late?
Yeah, you wanted to clear that beforehand.
Do I think.
Yeah. Or afterwards. How often is it that you can do that?
I think Iron Will is for yourself, right?
No, it's anybody I can see. After you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you fails a saving throw, you can use your reaction to roll your psionic talent die.
I see. Okay.
Rolled to the saving throw, potentially causing it to succeed.
Gotcha. So it's after it fails. So it didn't fail or Wolf didn't fail the saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, look at us breaking the game.
There we go.
And so kind of in response to you asking what this entity can give you, it says, I will make you the the true champion of Bane. He will look at you and smile. I will show you the wars to fight and those to slay. He kind of looks up at you expectantly.
Well, I'm already the champion of Cord. Cord is my god. I do not need to follow another. So, kind of a moot point, don't you think?
I'm not particularly a fan of someone who takes control of my friends either.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Boy, yeah, that's like a good point, Mr. Ball. I didn't even think about that.
But out of curiosity, if I were to get you the dagger, what would you provide me?
Make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I think I get what he's. Yeah, okay. Okay.
15. I rolled a 9 and then I used that psionic thing. And
Okay. Gotcha.
How do you know you failed, though?
Yeah, only if you failed.
Yeah, what was the number that you rolled initially?
9.
initially a 9 plus 2, so 11, and then add a 6 to that, 17.
So you rolled a 6 on a d6 then?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you did fail it, and it looks at you.
Oh, you rat.
The enemies of the sea. You will lead them all. Bring me this dagger, set me free, and I will show you how to be a king among the oceans.
Wait a minute.
Sounds pretty dope.
This is like, he's promising you all like great things.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. What about me, mate?
I'm sure there's a price to these great things, though. Nothing.
The
comes without a
price is set. The price is setting me free. You are.
And what will you do when you're set free?
I will.
You gonna go like hit people and things? Because I can't like let you out, and if you're gonna hit people,
Who would I hurt? Anyone
I
that gets
know.
in my way, potentially. But if they are in my way, they deserve to be hurt. That is not different than the way you lead your lives. I've
no,
studied
mate.
this house. I've studied all the things in this house. Those that come in and out, they hunt, they kill.
Well, if it gives you any pleasure, all of those people in that family have passed away.
it's true. They're all dead now.
That is what happens with mortals. They are bound to the cycle of life and death. I am beyond that, but I am imprisoned, and no one is helping me.
All right.
You said that you were once a man. Do you remember anything from that time? Who
He
you
looks at you and kind of tilts their head, trying to remember. A man, a mortal, a curse, a disease. Yes. Cure the disease. No memories of this.
Can I do an insight? See if
Yeah, absolutely.
seven.
7. This thing is tough to read. It's a friend you know and some entity inside of it.
Fair.
It's hard to tell if it's telling the truth, but it
Are you-
seems.
Are you
Perhaps. Oh, what does it say? Perhaps we should get Riff here. Maybe she can.
Right. Let's see what you
Enter-
promised, Riff.
Yeah, Riff can enter another realm and see things that we cannot. A shadow
Oh.
realm.
Oh.
Has Riff been here the whole time?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
right behind you?
Oi!
Oh, rah.
Watch out, mate. Ray the sneaky
Shadow
one.
monk.
I come from the shadows. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So,
So,
what,
like-
what do you want me to do?
I don't know. See what it'll promise you. This is like a fun game, you know?
Like you can enter the shadow realm and see something that we can't.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. That
maybe
too.
there's-
That too.
Oh, with my
the
weird
other-
meditation concentration. vision?
Yes, meditate. Yeah, come on.
All right. I can meditate, I suppose.
A
For
little more enthusiasm.
Shadow Realm. I don't know. It just seems to me that like some sort of whatever monster that was down in the basement has possessed our friend, and it wants the dagger because that monster wants to be free. So why would we ever give it the dagger, whether it promises us anything cool or not?
Oh no, like we ain't gonna give it to him.
Well,
it's
don't.
just like a fun game
is
to
an
like bully him
opportunity.
around, right?
No,
it's like
no,
poking a snake in a cage.
And I understand that. Yet you said it out loud in front of it, so now it knows.
Of course it knows, mate. What do you think? It's like a dumb creature? No,
I don't know.
like
You're treating
possessing
it
him.
like a dumb creature. So why are we going around in these circles?
You see that it is now kind of putting some things together, and one of you said, "Friend," caught its ear, and it rushes towards where that dagger was in the wall,
Oh, mate, look at what you going on did. Now it's gonna make him kill himself.
Good.
and it says, and it looks at you, Strummer, and it says, "Yes, that's the plan now. This is your friend. We'll
Oh,
kill
no.
him.
I don't really
Give me
know
the
him.
dagger, or we
I've
kill
got
him."
no attachment to him.
I'm gonna grapple him.
And as you approach, it puts the knife next to its throat. You can see that it has a full intention of cutting Strix's throat if you get closer.
All right, mate. All right. Let's just pucker down a bit here.
Are you
Is
the one
this
that
a
likes water?
good deal? What was that?
Are you the one that likes water?
I like water.
That requires water?
I mean, I only drink
Yes.
water.
Right? You
Yes.
want like a glass of water or something, mate?
I hold out.
Chill out here.
I hold out my water skin to see if I can kind of coax it closer to me and kind of distract it from killing Strix.
Is there not enough water? I require a lake, an ocean.
Well, this is a good start, and I open it and I start to pour a little bit into my mouth, and just looking really refreshed.
You can tell that
Fully hydrated.
Yeah.
Strix, like the entity, that's inhabiting Strix, may require some amount of water, but Strix itself doesn't. It's whatever is in the basement is the one that's more wanting of water.
For me, it's more of I'm hoping to distract somebody else.
Yeah, it's got some leverage and it's keeping it right now.
Can I try and look at Strix in the eyes and see if I can speak to it? And I want to say something. I want to try and maybe get a message.
Yeah.
I go,
Yeah. What do you say?
Strix, it's me, your old friend. If you're in there, go limbless, huh? Make a little change, huh? Come on, you know what I'm saying? Come on, old buddy.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Just not a crab because they can still use a knife.
Go limp.
nah, not great. 10.
10. Okay. So what I'm going to do is roll a saving throw, and what you've done is helped Strix with this saving throw, so he has advantage on this. 10 is
Sweet.
fine. Okay, you do this, and the knife kind of comes down and drops on the ground. The eyes kind of return to normal, and you see Strix kind of look side to side, looks at you, Scory, you're kind of the closest, and Wolf says, "What? What's going on? What's happening?"
It's time to tie you up, Strix. Just get in this rope.
And I kick the knife away.
Oh, yes. Okay. And you begin tying up Strix. He's confused at the moment, and kind of as you're doing this, he says, if we get him the dagger, and he's just kind of out of breath. Seems like he has had a rough time. But you tie up Strix. You're able to bind him. And for the time being, it seems Strix is the one in control of Strix's body.
Strix, could you see and hear everything that we were saying?
It's like I was in a pit and you were up above. I didn't understand. Is that thing still around?
We're not sure, but it seems to have possessed you now twice. You have some kind of link to it, so that's why we have to tie you up. I'm sorry. Is there anything you can recollect from your time being possessed?
I went down. I went down to the vault. You guys told me to go down, and I was a monkey.
Oh yeah.
And there's a number of doors down there, but I went to the one with the water, and I checked it. It was wet, and that's when I started hearing it. I started hearing it talk to me, and it said that it would do so many good things for you all if I just got the dagger. And so I came back up and tried to get that dagger. I think
It was telling us the same things.
Oh, okay. So we should get that for him then, yes?
I don't think it's that simple, Strix.
You made me a promise that was close to something I would like, but just a little off. I believe it tried to read our intentions, our goals, our heart's desires, but it couldn't quite get it right.
And then it tried to slit your own throat, which is why you were holding the knife. So then Mr. Wolf over here talked it out of it, and now you're back. And that's why we got to tie you up, because, well, we don't want you to slit your own throat.
Yes, that wouldn't be good.
And I have to say, Strix, the fact that this thing was trying to give us our heart's desires, and yours was to help us, that means a lot. Thank you.
We've come a long way since we met you in that basement bar thing.
It was much safer there, wasn't it?
Yeah, moving
Very
bar
much
that floats
so.
all over the world.
Yeah,
But
this is a lot
no
more
ocean.
interesting, isn't it?
A little.
But we're just having a good time.
You're having fun. Come on.
Is better than the pit, at least.
It's rather safer here than it is at my last house. Like, it's just like a possessing kobold type situation. No big deal, I'm not a kobold, so
No big deal.
I'm wondering too. The rest of y'all, powerful entities and all. Maybe he can solve your dead friend problem you've got upstairs. like the blue guy.
It seems like a risk I'm not willing to take.
Yeah, this thing has been locked up for who knows how long. Locked up by Zephyrus's family. Who knows how long. And it's got some kind of complex about being an immortal, perhaps. This thing doesn't sound trustworthy in the least, and I wouldn't want it to try to do anything to our friend Zephyrus.
Or owe us a favor. Or us owe them a favor. It a favor. Something.
Right, yeah. No, I was just seeing where your head's at, I don't know. I've made picks with dark entities before,
That's not good.
Oh no, I
thing.
end up killing them all, afterwards. But
In fact, that is what Chimala tried to do, it seemed, was make a deal with this thing. That's why you ended up fighting them in their kind of odd, dark form.
all right.
So you Strimmer would know that was the initial goal of Chimala.
Just a recap. Chimala was the Kenku that was possessed, right?
Yeah, the Coatl.
The Coatl, you're right.
Multicolored feathers. And
Okay, and
was-
so
yeah,
it had made a pact with an entity like this one.
with that one.
Because it was the
Oh,
one
that-
inside of the dagger.
Oh,
All
that's right. Oh, okay. So it's super bad. We don't want to.
All right.
good.
Suddenly
It was really-
remembering that this guy can't be trusted.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? No, dude.
It's like a
This is
weaker
bad
dark
thing.
weaker dark entities. I'm remembering now. Other dark entities.
Ken, do I recall going through the library any sort of books on the source of this particular prisoner?
No. Going through the books, the only reference is in Gaston's journal. It talks. There's a short message, basically not to go near it and not to get water near it, which seemed odd considering how detailed most everything else was.
I want to go into Zephyrus's room where he lay.
Okay.
But if other people want to do something else first, then you can come back to me.
Nah. Was at a loss?
Yeah, I don't.
Do want to reach out to the researchers that were going to meet us here and see if they can maybe come a little bit earlier.
All right.
So I'll take out my sending stone.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
I
sending
guess
them a
I'm
message.
just. I don't really have anything to necessarily do. I'm just gonna get ready and prepare for our trip to the because we're going on that quest. The mages, the field. What was it again?
The wastes.
There we go.
Wastes, yeah.
None of
Got
the
the
words
contract.
that I needed. Yeah, I'm gonna prepare for that journey and prepare my packs and
Sure.
that kind of stuff and rations. So I'm all set.
Who's keeping an eye on Strix?
Strummer likely would do
Strummer
that.
and Riff.
Yeah.
Okay. Ball, what's the message that you send?
Gentlemen, if you could maybe get to or mention a little bit sooner than later, it seems like we have an issue with some possessions.
No big deal.
Yeah, and you hear back. Yes, we will be arriving shortly. We've just crossed a short bridge. Be with you momentarily, Mr. Ball. Scory, as
I'll
you
go
go
outside.
upstairs to check on, what were we checking on again?
Zephyrus.
Perfect. So you go up to the master bedroom, and in there you see Zephyrus laying on the bed, and at the table you see Chimala and Willem kind of having a conversation, just kind of keeping an eye on Zephyrus and talking about something. As you open the door, they both look over and they say, Willem kind of pipes up, says, Mr. Scory, yes, what's I heard a commotion downstairs. Is everything okay?
For the time being, yes, things are okay. Can you make sure that both of you steer clear of both the basement and the vault?
Yes, of course, yeah.
I'd like to have a few minutes with Zephyrus if I could. And you can check on me if you want. I'm not being weird about it. But I'd just like to spend some time here.
Give me a persuasion check for Willem. Willem's pretty possessive of taking care of Zephyrus.
What was the stat you wanted?
Persuasion.
That would be a 17.
17? He kind of looks at you and gives you a nod. And him and Chimala go into the study, which is right next to the bedroom there.
And just outside the door. That's totally fine.
Yep.
And
And Zephyrus is there.
Yeah.
His black skin and his once kind of blue lines going across his body are just like this void of blackness instead.
okay.
You don't see any movement of the chest, but seems kind of alive.
And whole, correct?
Whole, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'd like to do is I'd like to find something around the room that belongs to him.
Okay. I would say that there's probably something nearby.
Quill, I don't know, pocket watch or something.
Yeah, Rhett, what does Zephyrus have on hand?
My mind instantly went to the pipe, but the pipe is
But the pipe is not there.
No, it's gone. So,
Yep.
He's got one of those, bag of weed or something.
He's got one of those.
so
ear
his
horns.
other outfit is still in the trophy room that he took off when he put on the vampire clothes.
I'm too lazy to go back there though.
It's the
I don't
door
know
you
what to
came
tell
through.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the trophy room is just right next to you there.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at the map, it's adjacent to you.
I'm not looking at the map. Sure, fine.
Or just pull something out of his pockets. I don't know.
Aren't you like a burnt crisp?
No, he's just gray, isn't he?
It's like this black skin, this black skin with these dark.
He killed me with a
black
melee
lines.
attack, I think. So
Okay, so I reach into his pocket and I grab a handkerchief that is monogrammed.
my
There you
ascot.
go.
Boom.
There you go.
Okay, that
You
should.
guys keep calling it a handkerchief, but it's an ascot.
Okay,
That's better.
yeah,
I thought that was Strix was the mascot.
more pretentious.
Yeah.
So I hold that in one hand, and then I go ahead and pull out from my bag of runes, and I throw 5 of them on the bed next to him.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to cast Speak with the Dead,
Okay.
and I want to chat with Zephyrus. And it says, I grant semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of my choice within range, allowing it to answer the questions you pose. The corpse must still have a mouth and can't be undead. That's the only thing I'm not sure about here with the way
Mm-hmm. It's not undead,
Okay.
but it is not a corpse. It is not dead nor undead.
Well, that just doesn't make any sense, DM.
It does not. That is a
Jesus.
bit weird, isn't it?
That
Do
doesn't
I
help my
get
spell at all.
any response?
No, from the spell, it doesn't grab hold to Zephyrus's body. The kind of like remnants of life that would usually be there to grab onto seem to have been pulled away somewhere else.
Interesting. Okay. Then I tuck his ascot back in. I grab my runes and I join everybody else.
All right.
And I let
Okay.
Willem and Chala,
Chamala.
Jim,
Jim.
Chimmery.
I let them know that I'm done and they can go back in if they want.
Okay. Yeah. So you meet the group back downstairs. Ball, you were waiting outside to keep an eye out for him.
Yes, sir.
Students. And yeah, kind of as Corey comes downstairs, you see the two students, and they are approaching you. They kind of give you a wave, and the one that you kind of been discussing things with says, "Yes, we should have everything ready. Is the dagger and everything safe?"
Not entirely. One of our traveling companions, our friends, a kobold named Strix, he was investigating the dungeon, I think I mentioned to you. And it appears something from the dungeon has possessed him, and that thing is very interested in the dagger.
I see. I mean, kind of like motions toward the door, if you will, Ball.
Of course,
We
come on.
should get to work quickly. And you see the two students enter. They survey the scene. They see everyone, give you a nod, tell you that they're from the school, what they're there for. We're here to take care of this warlock problem that you have. Proper authorities have been contacted. They should be with us shortly. And kind of points to Strix and says, "This is the one, I assume, tied up. That's good." And they kind of nod to the other student that they have with them, and they go and check on Strix. Kind of like look at their eyes, pull out some glass that's colored, and check it, kind of running through different tests. You see they pull out a large bag, and they begin drawing a circle around Strix. This is like a bag of salt, and kind of keeps everyone away. It's like they kind of scoot you away. And they begin, the two of them, going through a ritual. It looks like they're casting magic circle on the ground, and the main one kind of looks at you and says, "This is just a protective spell. It will keep Strix from doing anything dangerous. It will keep him inside, at least for the time being, at least until we are able to sever the connection." And it takes about 10 minutes, and they complete the ritual. You guys do anything? Any questions?
You said there was some authorities coming?
Yes. The king has a special group of people that take care of these odd happenstances. These when members of the Usama kingdom fall into a bit of bad luck making a deal with some sort of entity. It usually does not go their way, but sometimes it does and is beneficial to the kingdom. But we want to nip things like this in the bud, if we can. If I may, if we can see the dagger.
I kind of look around at everyone else and try to get a nod.
Just no, if you try to do anything, I'm gonna put an arrow right in your bum.
I can take him to the dagger, and I'll make sure that they don't screw around.
Thank you. Yes, if you would please lead the way.
I pull out my chucks, flourish,
Okay.
put them under my arm. No funny business.
Of course not. We are all business.
Yeah.
No funny.
And if I could actually have you wait in here so I can go and unlock things, and then if Riff could escort you in. I just don't want to give up the combination to our bolt to just anyone.
We'll stay in the hallway.
Sure, yes, no problem.
We'll stay in that hallway that in this week's episode I got my ass kicked in, and then you can go into the room and then do the door. So I'll kind of like guard that doorway so they stay out in the hallway. And
we'll do that just so we don't.
And you understand it's all just security precautions.
Yeah. You're able your key to unlock it. Use the passphrase. You know, kind of utter it quietly so they don't hear. It opens up the interior door. And
close eye on Strix.
Yeah, there we go. And you're grabbing the dagger.
Looks like a melting vanilla ice cream cone. Dropped in a little bit of dirt.
And bring it over to the young student. And they say, "Would you mind? I need to inspect it." And they've got like a cloth that's kind of got some gold filigree on it, and they kind of grab it with that and begin inspecting it. As they start walking down the hall back to the main hall.
Maybe we don't get it like near him.
Yeah, don't bring it near Strix. I think that would be a bad idea.
Oh, I see.
Don't do that.
Because he's in control right now, and we don't want the other brain to go back into his body, and then if it's super powered, he can break our ropes. Even though Mr. Ball ties a really killer Boy Scout D&D knot.
Also,
the magic circle should keep him contained as well. So hopefully we won't have any issues with that.
I mean, this did possess like a weird bird thing, and then that weird bird thing took us to another plane, which then killed our friend, who's still technically not alive or dead, but he's upstairs. You know, so maybe your circle assault doesn't mean jack shit.
This has got a few different knots to untie, does it? Who was it that was possessed, made a deal with before? Are they still alive?
Yeah, we freed him because I was on a mission to the Kenku that I'm now slowly becoming the overlord of. They're down, you know, the bridge that if you took a left at the bridge, the Kenku were back there in the forest, and then it was like a big, tall, feathery Kenku. I forget what it's actually called. Doesn't matter. And I see. And then it was possessed, and it was being a jerk. And then when we fought it, it took us to a different plane. And this
is what you initially called us about. This was the other plane. I see. It's all coming together. And so this is where the dagger came from. And kind of like points to the door and kind of opens it and walks into the library to begin inspecting the dagger.
Also, just a modest Kanku's suggestion here, but like anything stopping this young man from like being possessed by the entity below and like bringing the dagger to him?
The young man,
like you, the researcher, mate.
Oh, I see. Yes. Well, you have to be a willing partner in accepting the kind of deal that we're trying to snuff out. I am not willing. My assistant is not willing, and I do hope none of you are willing to make a deal with this entity.
Might change if it starts making promises to you, you know?
Do not believe any of the promises it makes.
All right.
Yeah, and they begin working their magic. They spend probably 15, 20 minutes with the dagger while the assistant is going through and just checking to make sure the magic circle is working, taking notes on Strix's behavior, you can tell. Just generally keeping tabs on everything. You see, not very stealthily, they take notes on everyone in the house. They are filling up this kind of journal they have with as much information as they can gather. It seems that they are well versed in this kind of thing.
Maybe your circle of salt is cooler than I thought.
I definitely appreciate the level of professionalism they're presenting, and I offer any additional help that I can. I also want to go fetch Chimala and see if he has anything that he can help them with, since he was possessed by the dagger also.
Gotcha, yeah. So you while he's identifying this dagger, you go up to Chimala and he's up in Zephyrus's room. You see him, they're talking with Willem and ask him to come down, and he accepts. He is still in your debt as far as he's concerned. So he comes down, and you meet them in the library to chat. Do you introduce Jamala?
Sure.
And the young student looks at. Give me 1 sec here. I swear I gave this guy a name.
Yeah, I asked for it last time, I think, and I wasn't going to press it, but I do need it because I'm probably going to lose my sending stone that I have with him eventually.
Ooh. The pool boy is here.
Yeah. The pool boy.
Oh, Rhett's been taking the kid to the kiddie pool lately.
Well, he has a changing name. He is Gregory. He's a very Gregory kind of guy.
Or Gregory,
Does not go
look
by
about
Greg
shit.
though. So Gregory kind of looks at Chimal and says, "I see. So you were the one first in connection with this entity. What can you tell us about him?" And Ball, you hear Chamala kind of go into a reserved, detailed plan of what they were trying to do. Chamala says, We were in search of this entity. We wanted to destroy it. We had heard thoughts in the woods related to it. I had a means of destroying the connection between us, the dagger, and I thought if I made a deal with it, I could convince it that I was going to set it free. But once I did that, I would sever the connection between me and him and destroy the creature. At least that was the plan.
That didn't work out.
I would imagine most could not do that, but this thing feeds on the thoughts of those it tries to intimidate. But it cannot read my thoughts. It is a tactic of my race. The good people here at the chateau found me in our dire straits and were able to release me from the curse, but not before I struck down one of theirs. I'm trying to help them recover this Zephyrus, but it is a uphill battle, and if you all could provide any sort of help, that would be fantastic. It would lessen the burden on myself. So that's what I have for you, Gregory. And Gregory takes some notes about this. Did you have any questions for Chamala? I think this is the first time he's really laid out what his plan was.
So, what was your desire after you were to take this power, this energy?
The connection between this creature gave me powers from the abyss. That's how it entices others. I did not want the power, but I wanted to gain its trust so that I could get close to it and then destroy it.
But it didn't promise you anything.
No, it couldn't. I believe the way it works is it can sense your thoughts and emotions. It could never sense mine, so it had nothing to give other than the raw power that it gave. That was how I was able to create that shift in the planes where your friend has lost their soul.
Tight.
I feel like there's something else I want to ask, but I just can't think of it right now.
Yeah. Chimala kind of looks a bit uncomfortable, asks Gregory if that's all, and Gregory says, yes, we will deal with this Strix first, and then I will have to do a debriefing with you. We need to figure out where this dagger came from, how you knew about it, and exactly who you are.
Tight.
But for now, that's all we need. And so Chimala takes the stairs back up, and you take Gregory back to the main hall. And kind of as you're doing that, you hear from upstairs these tones, just like a boom, 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 and it kind of echoes through the house.
Can I get a couple more bars?
It's just those three. It's just those three. Yeah.
I thought you had a whole thing planned. I go to investigate.
Yeah,
with my great axe out.
Okay.
I'm wondering, is it near? Does it sound like it's coming from our portal room?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Can I do a perception check as well?
I would
Yes, you
also
can.
like to roll a perception.
Well, anyone that wants to roll perception can. You take the time to kind of listen to guess where this thing's coming from. You're kind of like all listening upstairs.
I got a 16.
16. Scory.
9.
9. And Strummer.
I rolled a crit failure, but it was a 8 total.
8 total? Okay. Scory and Strummer, you definitely hear that it's coming from upstairs. Wolf, you're prepared for dangers. You know that it is coming from the east wing where that portal usually is.
Oh, shh.
Can I shout out to everyone else? It's coming from the portal room.
You do, yeah. You do this kind of as you're like climbing the stairs up to the second floor. And as you do, a figure starts walking down the stairs across from you.
Oh, boy.
This is a tall man with dark leathers on.
Vampire.
A fair number of buttons, but a subtle reserved look to them. They have a dark goatee and white balding hair, and they kind of get to the center of the balcony. And they're standing right in front of the family portrait. And you look at this man.
Zephyr's uncle.
Almost look like, they almost look like Zephyr's uncle. But that doesn't make sense. That would mean he's 200 years old, something like that. And Wolf, with your perception, you kind of look at him and look at the portrait, and you can tell this is the eldest son. This is Gaston, probably aged 80, 90 years old.
But does he look 80 or 90?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's got white hair, wrinkles, bit of color still in his goatee.
Wait, which one was Gaston?
The oldest son.
The oldest son.
He's the one that we have journal.
Yeah, in the journal, he too. It was like he was like the only one living as well. Like he moved.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. Cool.
Like a
and I know this. I like
You
Well,
kinda-
we read it.
You intuit that from the portrait and seeing him next to it, and he's looking down at you, and he looks over to the students, Gregory and the assistant, and kind of gives a nod, and they nod back. It seems they know each other.
Are you Gaston?
Yes, I am, Mr. Gaston, Mr. Magnus, if you will. It seems we need to have a conversation. You've all been living in my home for some time now. And it seems one of my loose ends I've left here needs tied up.
Is that possibly the creature being held captive downstairs?
You see him, he kind of like looks down at where that would be with kind of some sorrowful eyes and says, yes, that would be the creature in the vault, in the basement. Something I have left unattended for many years. It seems it's finally caught up with me.
Also, you seem to have the password to the portal, so like we could come back from town much easier. If we could get that before you take off, that'd be cool.
That will be a conversation for another time.
Fair enough.
Mrs. Rifarian Night Meadow.
Oh, you know my name. That's cool.
Do you
Yes.
mind telling me what that creature is?
It is from beyond the plains. It is something I do not know how to destroy.
It's like an outsider then.
At least I did not know how to destroy it, and I've lost the accent already. Now it's just a kind of British thing. But that is where I think we are going to end tonight's episode with Gaston. Thank
You
for
have to
joining us
declare
around
more.
I do have to declare more.
Yeah.
I do declare.
That'll always get you back into it.
your DM and host, Alex. To my right, I have
Dash as Wolf.
Bentley Michaels is Rafiri and Night Meadow.
Brett as Strummer.
Kyo Scory.
Milo's Ball.
Thank you guys. Grab your swords and keep on adventuring.
Follow us across all platforms with Chaotic Amateurs. Please subscribe, rate, and review our show on your podcast app of choice to help us climb the charts and find new adventurers. Or become a patron on Patreon to help our heroes continue their quest. Thank you for listening to Chaotic Amateurs.